Greetings, viewers. Give you a little rundown of how I switched gears, disappeared, I guess. Um, Stopped uploading car stuff, last summer? Yeah, somewhere around there. Uh, as you all know, the times are changing, things are getting hard for everybody, prices are going up for everything. But our wages really aren't. So I was offered this deal to move down to Knoxville, Tennessee from Kansas City. Was doing my full-time trade. I'm a certified automotive technician. Got licenses for whatever's necessary, 25 years experience, a stupid amount of money wrapped up in tools. As prices for everything keeps going up, my wages are not. So I started looking into other things. Anyways, the guy says, "Yeah, come on down to Knoxville. I got a piece of property outside town. It's nice, quiet, peaceful. Gonna put a double wide on it. I'll pay you good. Come to work in my shop. We need a seasoned technician. Yada, yada, yada." Okay, great. Sounds good. Get down there. There's no place for me to live. I actually lived in a tent for like a month and a half before graduating to a garage. The rental prices down there for a one-bedroom apartment are just insane. And the internet says that the cost of living in Tennessee is less. That's not true. The homeless population in Knoxville is in the thousands, and I'm not talking about low thousands. You see them walking around all over the place. It's ridiculous. The state of my country makes me sick. Anyways, get down there. Ain't got no place to live. I mean, obviously I got to work. I've always worked. That's just been me my entire life. So I go to work in this guy's shop, using my skilled trade, my tools, and all that stuff, and I'm taking home like $400 a week. Hell no on that. So the whole thing was just a bad deal. I actually kind of set myself up for it because I'm typically not one to have that much faith in a certain kind of person. So as soon as I got the opportunity, I loaded up necessities like clothing and a few work things, not my tools, obviously, in my little Honda Accord, and I drove my ass back up to Missouri, where I worked two jobs for a little while. Went to work in a cabinet shop. Used to enjoy that job, but then they found out that I have other skills like mechanical skills and electrical skills, and I'm legal enough to drive a big truck and all that. So yeah, they spread me really thin and didn't pay me much. And outside of that, I was a delivery driver for a food establishment that I cannot name. I actually kind of enjoyed that. It was sort of fun, except for the kids in the place don't want to do their jobs. You get that everywhere these days, I guess. Something's gone wrong with the work ethic. Anyways, ended up leaving the food delivery thing. Focus more on the cabinet shop. Ain't panning out. Still trying to find some place to live. I'm staying with family and all that. So I ran into this guy who offered me a deal on these rental properties he's got that are way out of date and in need of a bunch of repairs. So I don't have to pay rent, which is great because rental prices are just astronomical these days. I mean, maybe it's astrocomical. I coined that term too. It's mine. Anyway, got another job lined up that pays in the ballpark of what I'm used to making, before everything went stupid. In the meantime, I'm doing these rental renovation videos as much as I can. Haven't uploaded anything to YouTube in quite a while, so I guess it's up to you guys. Let me know if you like that sort of thing, or I'll kind of watch what happens with them. Apparently, the video I did on timing chain replacement in the turbo 4-cylinder Ford Fusion is fairly popular. I mean, it's kind of complicated and there's not a lot. I actually made that video because when I went looking for information, because I do that stuff on the fly. I'm out in the shop working on the car, pull up in the Google app, hey, what goes here, or how does this work? Every tech does it unless they've done the job repeatedly. And at that point, I'd only done it a couple of times. So I looked up the information for how to line up the sprockets, and I was really just looking for where the lock goes on the crankshaft and all. It's new technology. Anyways, that one got a lot of hits. Now, I'm likely not gonna go back to full-time wrenching because honestly, I'm just burned out on it. And for a technician like me, with the tools, the skills, the experience, the certifications, if you want to cut, anybody can take a test. It's just not worth it to me anymore. I'd rather do something that a little bit less stressful. I mean, not afraid to work, obviously. Look at that mess. I have a pretty broad skill set. So, I forgot where I was going. Maybe I should have another drink of Pepsi. I'll probably get out and do some things with my own cars. I still have my Silverado, the red Celica. Apparently, it's considered an antique. It's a 1993. My little Honda Accord Coupe. There's some other things around. One of my other videos here was showing the walk around one of my, might as well be family, lifelong friends' property. That's just one of them. There's a whole lot more of those. And yeah, I actually would enjoy using my skills on stuff like that, but maybe that stuff's getting a little played out on YouTube these days. I don't really know. I don't have a way to gauge that. But, moving forward, it's probably going to be more goofing off, talking shit like this. I mean, I'm relatively intelligent and I try to be funny, even though people can read my sarcasm sometimes. But yeah, so probably a little more carpentry and building stuff, at least for the foreseeable future, because there's something like 20 of these rental units I need to go through, and several of them haven't been touched since like the 70s. So yeah, that's actually fake paneling above me. It's 1/4-inch sheetrock made to look like paneling, but the stuff on the walls, that's paneling. That was through this entire unit, and there's several of them like it. So yeah, that's going away. I'm updating wiring, switches, receptacles, fixtures, appliances, plumbing, flooring, paint, insulation, but making them normal by today's standards. And that has kind of become my full-time job because, geez, it's a lot. I told the owner the other day, I'm like, man, there's so much to do here that this could be my full-time job for like 5 years. And as much as he would like that, I can't do that. Like I said, I got another job lined up. Got to make my own way in this world. So it's a real shame Tennessee didn't work out. I really did like it down there, except for my personal conditions. It's beautiful down there. There's plenty of cool stuff to do, plenty of cool stuff to see. Like, I went fishing in a clear river where I could stand on the end of the dock and look down in the water and see these big fish. For instance, I was sitting down there one Sunday during the day at the end of the dock, just wasting a day, taking it easy. This is, what, 2 or 3 weeks after I got there. And I had 2 fishing poles. One of them I winged like halfway across the river. And of course, with the current in that river, I had to use a brake rotor for a sinker. Exaggeration. But as I looked over the edge of the dock, just looking at the great big carp hanging out there, no, I would never eat those things. They're fun to catch, but I wouldn't eat them. There was a bunch of little bluegill. So I was like, oh, all right. So I took my second pole and I put a little bitty hook on it, a little tiny piece of night crawler, whipped me a bluegill up on the dock. Pulled in the one that I had halfway across the river, hooked the little bluegill through the back, winged it back out there, and I was just dragging it back nice and easy. And I told my old lady, she was sitting beside me, hey, I'm going to catch a bigger fish with this little fish. She's like, oh, well, I don't know. You haven't had too much luck in this place. Oh, yeah? Well, I was persistent, you know. I reeled it in, threw it back out 5 or 6 times. And I wasn't probably 20 feet off the end of the dock. And something hit that thing so hard, I thought it was going to break my pole. Because my pole has that little hook on the end of it, where you put your finger. Pulled my finger straight, and I had to close my grip. Still bent my pole over. I was like, yeah, here we go. Pulled it in. It's like a 6-pound largemouth bass. You can't complain about that. And yes, it was fun to get in. Got some pictures of it. I'm not quite sure how to edit stuff like that into my videos yet. My phone's been giving me a hard time. It doesn't have the software that a previous fancier phone had, but as I figure that stuff out, I'll clip things together and throw them in here. So yeah, that's what I've been up to for the past several months. Life goes on.